Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another paycheck breakdown video where I'm going to take our paychecks that we just recently got and I am going to allocate them for the next 2 weeks. Yes, these paychecks need to last the next 14 days. Also, if you're new here, hi, my name's Alice. I love to chat about money and show you a little bit about my life. And if you haven't seen these videos before, the paychecks from the first part of the month usually go more towards saving and investing so we can really push ourselves and prioritize those kind of things, while the paychecks at the end of the month go more towards housing and expenses and all that fun stuff. I feel like at the end of the month, that's the time when you really have to make the hard decisions and your money and your paychecks really can run out if you don't spend your money wisely. This is definitely going to be a paycheck breakdown that's full of those decisions and those priorities that you have to make when you're not just at the beginning of the month making all this money, spending all this money, and saving a lot of money. So anyways, yeah, let's get into the paycheck breakdown. Okay, but first, let's do a little background on my finances because I believe in personal finance. Context is everything. So me and my husband have 100% combined finances. I just feel like combining finances 100% works best for us because we have a shared asset, which is like the house, and we do have a couple cars, and then we do want kids in the near future. And I definitely am someone who, when we do have children, that is going to be really important that we're sharing finances 100%. I know that other people do it different ways, but I just feel like for me, when it comes to kids, I would hate if one of us spent more money on daycare and clothing and food for the child, and then we were like having that separation. For me, that wouldn't work very well. And then it also not only works for us currently, but I just feel like with our past, the way we grew up and our money psychology and our money narratives, combining finances 100%, having the same accounts and everything just helps us feel the most confident and the most comfortable, and it honestly came really naturally. So that's a huge aspect of our money. We own a single family home. We bought it a couple years ago for $450,000. And then we don't have any children, as I said, but we want kids. So we are kind of starting to mentally, emotionally, and financially, probably mostly financially, prepare for that. I don't know if there is such thing as preparing too early financially for a child, but you'll have to let me know if you've had a kid. All right, without further ado, let's get into our income. Alrighty, so I have the numbers here on my phone because, you know, I cannot remember that. So the total income that we're working with for these two paychecks is going to be my paycheck, my husband's paycheck, and then our rollover from the last two paychecks that we had in the previous pay cycle. So I do like to have a little bit rollover every single paycheck just because I feel like it's a little bit more comfy to always have, you know, an extra few $100s just in case something bigger happens at the beginning or at the end of the month. So what we're working with this time is $5,016.42. Alrighty, let's do the bills first. So these next 2 weeks, we're gonna have a few bills come out. I like that they are kind of spread out throughout the month. So we have half of our bills at the beginning, half at the end, so that we can kind of spread out that expense. But we have our life insurance, and that will come out at $180.47. We have our power bill coming out, which it'll come out to be $62.50, which is awesome because I originally budgeted at the beginning of the month $100 for power, so it's always nice when you can save money on those things that you don't really like to spend money on. Our Apple subscriptions for this half of the month should be $9.99. And then my Canva subscription should be coming out at $15 at the end of this month. And now that is one expense where I'm like, I can't believe I spend money on Canva because it's just for YouTube. But like, here I am spending money on my hobbies. Like, how insane. As someone with a scarcity mindset, I never felt comfortable spending money on myself, on my hobbies, on things that quote unquote don't matter, if that makes sense. Like, it's not a car, it's not education, it's not a house. It's just like something that raises my quality of life. And so I'm actually really proud of the fact that I spend money on something that I enjoy doing. All right, now let's go on to the big portion of this video where most of the money is going, and that is our expenses, our fixed expenses. So our mortgage is going to come out, and that is $2,950.95. Now our income has increased so much recently. I will say exactly 1 year ago today, total for the entire month, we were bringing home around $6,200 a month, and now we're bringing home $4,800 a paycheck for like both of us. Yeah, it's just like so wild, the fact that like I feel obligated to say that our mortgage is so high and we're working on it and we are going to refinance, which like we are going to. But I used to feel so much sadness and so much pressure when it came to our mortgage, and I felt so bad about myself because we had such a high mortgage. And now, like, that's the power of raises. When you get a raise, it just makes your fixed expenses feel so much more palatable if you control your lifestyle creep, if you curb your lifestyle inflation. So that $3,000-ish for our mortgage, yes, I don't know if I'll ever get to the point where $3,000 is not a lot of money to me, but relatively speaking to our income, it feels so much more doable, and we are really excited to refinance because the rates are dropping. For groceries in the next 2 weeks, we are planning on spending $250, so it's kind of wild. We are 3 weeks into this month and we have only spent like $180 on groceries. I don't know how that's possible, but we are planning on spending $250 because my mom is coming into town. I'm so excited to see her. When family comes into town and we have people over, I love to do like really fun, nice dinners, not like super bougie, like we're not doing steak, but I want to do like a roast and I want to buy some extra food, like food that I know that she buys at home so that when she comes, she can feel more at home here and everything. So I'm very excited about that. And then also, I feel like we have been really good recently about trying to use all the food in our pantry and all the food in our fridge. And that's great, but then when you do go grocery shopping, you have to buy a lot more food because all the other stuff is out. So $250 is great. Okay, for tithing, we're planning on about $4,800 and oh my gosh. We're planning about $485 because that is 10% of our income that we made from these 2 paychecks. And I always feel really awkward talking about donating and tithing because like I do it, but I don't expect other people to. That's basically the crux of what I wanted to say. And I also want to say that the donating and the tithing and everything is really important to me too, even though I don't expect other people to do it. Okay. Moving on. Alrighty, where were we? Okay, for gas, we're budgeting $140, like the gas for our car, not the gas for our house. Me and my husband have a really good system down where if any one of us is working from home and the other person's going in, we always take the more gas efficient car, even though it looks so crusty and the bumper is ripped off and you can see like the inside of the engine, not the inside of the engine. People who know cars are probably like, wow, she knows nothing about cars, which is true. I got an oil change today and the guy was like, what kind of oil do you want? And I was like, the normal. And then he flipped over the screen and was like, what kind of oil do you want? And it literally said conventional. Well, it said premium conventional. So I was like, can I have the normal? Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway, so for gas, we're doing $140. We've got a system down where we spend less money on gas because we always take the gas efficient car, and it works really well for us. And then for car maintenance, I did put $50 here when I made this bi-weekly budget check-in thing, but I did actually go and get the oil change today. I spent $45, which is so nice, $5 extra. I feel like they make oil changes like $10 to $15 more than they should be, expecting you to use a coupon and coming in to that store and it's like marketing because you found their coupon and everything. That's just my guess. If you work at a Jiffy Lube or a Valvoline, please let me know. All right, for personal, I am gonna budget $15 for these next 2 weeks. We are not really like a very intense like beauty products, personal products household, if that makes sense. I think we just need like, I need body lotion. I buy the huge bottle for $5. It works for me. And then we also need body wash. Wait, no, I use a bar soap. This $15 was for something, I can't remember. Okay, for miscellaneous, we always budget $350 for the entire month. And again, like, do I know how much we're gonna spend on unexpected expenses these next 2 weeks? Absolutely not, but I'm gonna budget $175 because literally something always comes up. So I'm gonna get you unexpected expenses. Okay, for guilt-free spending, I have $50 for golf. For my husband, I don't play golf. I played a couple rounds of 9 when I was like 13 years old. For splurge, we only have $30 left of our splurge budget for this month, which is basically miscellaneous or unexpected fun. Like if someone's like, hey, you wanna go out for dinner? We don't wanna be like, oh no, sorry, we can't. We have this extra money for things we don't plan for. But I did buy a $950 phone this month, so we only have $30 left of splurge. Use it wisely, I guess. And then for home, I'm gonna budget $0 for these next 2 weeks. I have bought like $200 worth of home stuff this month. I'm done. I have all the Halloween decor that we need. We should be good. No more spending on the home. Kind of feel like I had some unchecked spending this month for the home. And it's not that I went too crazy and blew our budget out of the water. I just feel like for me as someone with a scarcity mindset who's so used to controlling the budget so much, I still feel like when I budget $50 for something and then I spend $100 on that, I don't take into consideration the fact that I saved money somewhere else, like in our utilities. So I still struggle with that perfectionism when it comes to budgeting. Anyways, for dates, we are going on a date on Friday. I'm so excited. I have been on this out of house dates kick recently where I'm like, you know, we have money. we have time because we graduated college. We should be going on dates outside of the house. Yes, a movie night date inside is so fun, but I just love going on dates outside of the house and doing fun things that you wouldn't normally do. So we initially budgeted $85. I don't think this date is gonna cost $85. Just in case that we wanna like go out for lunch or something, then we can totally do that with this money too, because honestly, dates and activities and I don't know what I'm trying to say. Basically, activities outside of the house in Utah are so cheap. I asked you guys on my last video, like how inexpensive it is to go out for two people, like on the town, whether that's like dinner and a movie or anything, and you guys were saying that other places are way expensive. Utah has a lot of free, cheap, fun activities, so I think the activity that we're doing on Friday is going to be very inexpensive, which is going to be awesome. Okay, for clothing, I'm also budgeting $0 for these next 2 weeks. I budgeted $0 this month for clothing, and then I bought some clothes. And like, that's totally fine, but like, I love these mid-month money check-ins or these paycheck breakdown check-ins because I'm like, okay, that's great that I spent that money and I'm excited for those clothes, but like these next 2 weeks, like I don't think that's gonna happen. We're not gonna do that anymore, basically. It's just like a little check-in to be like, hey, no more. It's fine that you did it. It's great that you did it, but like no more. Let's go into investing and saving. So again, these 2 paychecks at the end of the month are really for the expenses. We try to push ourselves and prioritize saving and investing by doing the bulk of it at the beginning of the month with our first 2 paychecks. So these numbers are a little bit more sparse, like we're putting $0 for the emergency fund. For the Roth IRA, we're just having the $100 a week come out for the next 2 weeks, so that'll be $200, math. And then for the car, we're putting $0, for the cats, $0. And then for celebrations, for these last 2 paychecks of the month, I'd normally be putting $0 towards this, but I feel like we had a couple hundred extra dollars because we do have $1,000 for Christmas, but I just want more. Okay, so that is saving and investing. Now, the total we have left over with our 2 paychecks, our rollover minus all the things that we're planning on spending these next 2 weeks is $192.51. I think that's a good rollover. Yes, I'm thinking right now. Okay, so here's a financial situation that I feel like comes up semi-regularly. I have $192.51. I know in my head, I want that money to go towards buying a new TV next month because my husband gave me a 12-month warning. Last year, he said, hey, next year for Black Friday, I'm buying a TV. And I was like, that sounds great. Like, that's fun. And then suddenly it's here. Time flies when you're waiting for Black Friday. So basically, my dilemma is, do I move this almost $200 into a special fund or like our savings fund so that we know when we buy the TV that money is for the TV? Or should I just leave it as rollover, hoping that it stays in our bank account so it can be used for the TV? Like, what would make my life easier? I feel like moving into a savings account would be a little bit too much work, but then also keeping it might get lost. So I think I'm gonna keep it there. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna keep it there. Should I keep it there? I'm having a lot of doubts right now. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep it just floating around in our bank account, and I am going to put on the reminders tab on our budget spreadsheet that we have $200 that can go to the TV from our bank account for rollover, if that makes sense. So that will make it easy to know that we do have extra money and I shouldn't put that money towards something else. So that the TV, instead of being $500 to $600 out of pocket, is only like $300 to $400. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's paycheck breakdown. I hope that you really enjoyed it. I hope that these videos are helping you to be more intentional with your money and to find meaning in your money. That's definitely why I do them, to help myself. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see you later. Bye.